Located in the heart of the English countryside, the Rollright Stones are a mysterious collection of ancient megaliths. These stones have stood here for thousands of years, and with them come countless legends and ghost stories. But what makes this place so special? Let's go and find out. The Rollright Stones is a place where legend and history intertwine, creating an atmosphere that is both fascinating and eerie. Whether you believe in legends or not, there is no denying that there is a sense of mystery among the ancient stones. This complex of megaliths lies on the boundary between Oxfordshire and Warwickshire, on the edge of the Cotswold Hills. They span nearly 2,000 years of Neolithic and Bronze Age development, and each one dates from a different period. The Whispering Nights dolmen is early Neolithic from 3,800 to 3,500 BC. The King's Men Stone Circle is late Neolithic, circa 2,500 BC, and the King's Stone is Bronze Age, which is 1,500 BC circa. Prehistoric monuments were used by pagan Saxons, and the Rollright Stones were no exception. An early Saxon cemetery was found here, dated 700 AD. The stones are Jurassic-Oolitic from the Cotswold Hills, made up of small spheres called eoliths, and they're connected together by mud. And this type of stones is a lot lighter than the one used for Stonehenge and Avebury. The King's Men is a stone circle of 33 meters. When it was erected, it would have had 500 stones, out of which only 77 or so remain. It would have also been a more perfect circle than what it looks now. And the stones have been moved or replaced during the centuries, and surveys undertaken here in the late 1980s revealed 4 magnetic anomalies right here in the center of the circle. The northern stone, the male stone, aligns with the phases of the moon at midsummer. Even if I call this the male stones, they're all male stones. The circle is the female. Also worth mentioning that the Rollright Stones are sitting on a British latitudinal ley line. Ley lines are ancient tracks developed by prehistoric man for navigational purposes. Grid-like markings that ran in perfectly straight paths, crisscrossing at certain locations that usually coincides with big mounds, holy wells, ruins and churches. John Aubrey, the antiquarian that is also linked to Stonehenge, said that the circle is thought to have been built by Druids, and that the circle has cultural connections to Cumbria. Some of the theories state that the stones mark the flying paths of fairies. On some nights, the knights come back to life, and are said to go down to the stream to get some water. And sometimes they're seen joining hands and dancing. It was William Camden, antiquarian, historian and topographer during the reign of Elizabeth I, that left us one of the best pieces of folklore that we can find on the Rollright Stones. We will get to it a little later. Now, the stones are, or were, uncountable. However, there was a baker that claimed that he could count them correctly by placing a loaf of bread on each stone. But each time he tried to count them, the loaves of bread disappeared. Also, if you stand in the middle of the circle and you count the stones and you get the same number 3 times, you will get your heart's desire fulfilled. People counting the stones right there. If I point the camera into the hole, I can actually see the Whispering Nights from here. That's really cool. Just a few steps away from the King's Men, we find the Whispering Nights. Whispering Knights are said to be the remains of the king's knights that were plotting against the king. If you listen closely, you can still hear them whispering their treacherous plans. Now, legends aside, the Whispering Knights is a portal dolmen burial chamber which consists of 4 stones, and one has collapsed into the burial chamber and is now supported by other rocks, and that would have been the capstone that is supported by the standing stones. The antiquarian William Stukeley visited Rollright in the mid-1800s, and he reported 5 freestanding stones instead of 4, but whether that number is correct or not is unknown. The number of the standing stones is also mentioned in the Folklore rhyming version of William Camden that we mentioned before. But for that, we got to head into Warwickshire. Standing alone, separate from all the other stones, is the King's Stone. Lore suggests that the stone comes alive at night, adding to its haunted reputation. The King's Stone is the youngest of the 3 monuments, and it's a single monument, and still to this date we don't know what its function was. Among various hypotheses, the most obvious one, Bronze Age burial. That is set to the side behind a hole at the foot of the King's Stone, and they have been seen dancing around it. Now, no one should block the hole. The person that does that is either forced to dance or it would disappear forever. I'm not gonna try that, but there's an apple there. Of all the many legends attached to the Rollright Stones, we have possibly the most popular one, which is in form of a rhyming version by already mentioned William Camden. And it goes like this. A local king was travelling across Oxfordshire with his 5 knights and his army of soldiers. He was accosted by a local witch, Mother Shipton, who asked him of his business, to which he replied,
"To conquer England and rule it as one kingdom."
To that Mother Shipton replied, "7 long strides more take thee, and if long Compton thou canst see, king of all England thou shalt be." The king replied to her challenge,
"Stick, stock and stone, as king of England I shall be known."
In doing so, he took 7 mighty strides, but found his view obscured by a mound of earth. Just that. The witch now crying aloud, "Because long Compton thou canst see, king of England you shall not be. Rise up sticks and stand still stone, king of England thou shalt be none. Thee and thy men horse tall shall be, and I myself an elden tree." The king and his men were frozen to stones. The king standing aside on top of the hill, his men in a circle, in Rollright Stone circle, and the 5 whispering knights that were whispering against the king, standing defiantly against the witch. The witch's tree is still standing there in the hedge, and if the tree is cut down, all the stones will come back to life. Dances and feasts used to be held around the King's Stone at midsummer, and people would cut the elderflower to which the King's Stone would bow. And that kind of explained the shape of the stone, and I know that it has been chipped away by Victorian tourists over the centuries. That is why it's fenced in now. Some people say that it looks like a seal holding a bowl, but if you look properly, it does look like it's bowing. Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give us a thumb up. and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.